to be taking you on a full training day, what I get up to, my sessions, and what it fully looks like as a professional footballer in season. Anyway, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me in my Instagram DMs why I haven't been playing recently, if I'm injured, what's been going on. And to keep it completely transparent with you guys, this is football, this is what happens. Sometimes you play, sometimes you do. You just have to keep training hard and hopefully get your chance. And so that's exactly what I've been doing, working really hard behind the scenes, trying to make a good situation out of a bad one. And to be honest, since I haven't been playing, this has allowed me to spend a lot more time in the gym, and I am probably at my physical best I've been in my career so far. I've been in the gym around 3 to 4 times a week, trying to get as explosive and powerful as possible, and I've definitely seen a big difference over the last few weeks. And so yeah, as well as that, I've been maintaining my fitness levels, waiting for the opportunity to come, and so when it does come, I'm fully fit and I'm ready for the opportunity. And so regardless, if you are somebody who hasn't been playing recently, it's important you're staying professional at all times, making sure you're putting in the work behind the scenes, and when your opportunity does come, you take it with both hands and you really make it count. I'm going to be arriving at training in around an hour and a half, so I'll catch up with you guys once I'm there. So with this gym session, it was slightly different as I was doing it first thing in the morning as soon as I got in, and I'll go into more detail as to why I was doing it before my pitch session later on in the video. But regardless, I was going for a full body strength session where the goal was to be as explosive and powerful as possible. I was doing each exercise for 3 sets of 6 reps. And I must say, during the season, it's so important you're adding full body sessions into your schedule, and this is because you have games coming quick and fast, and it's so important you're strengthening all of your key muscle groups as much as you can. And that's why throughout this session, you'll see us go through a range of different exercises to focus on different muscle groups, and in total we've done 4 upper body exercises and 3 lower body. So straight after that gym session, we then went into a full activation session just to make sure we're fully warmed up for this training session ahead. I thought this video was the perfect time to give you guys an insight of what my training sessions look like on a weekly basis. And of course, I can't show you guys any of the tactical drills for obvious reasons, but here's exactly what my usual team trainings consist of. So straight into it, we always start off with a passing drill, which ties into the warm-up just to increase the heart rate and get as many touches on the ball as possible. Now, these types of drills aren't usually done at a high intensity as it's still part of the warm-up phase. The goal is to get some touches on the ball, increase the blood flow, ready for the main parts of the session when the intensity will really increase. After around 20 minutes, we then go into a possession-based drill. One team in the middle trying to win the ball, and the other team threes have to try and keep possession. And as you'll see, this is when the intensity for the team in the middle defending really increases. A lot of change of direction, short and sharp movements trying to win the ball. Straight after, we went into the next drill, which is an attack versus defense type of drill. This consisted of 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, and 4v4s. This was a timed game, so it was really taxing on the body as it was quite a big area to play in. Again, really working on getting distance and sharp movements into the legs. And after this, we're then into the final drill, which is usually everybody's favorite part of the session, small-sided games. 5v5s on a medium-sized pitch, again to increase the distance we're covering, as well as working on those sharp movements, which will all go towards increasing, if not maintaining, our fitness levels. So that is training done. Time is currently 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's going to take me around 2 hours because there is a little bit of traffic as always. But yeah, it was a good session today. As you guys saw, we completed 2 sessions, one in the gym doing a full strength and power session, and one on the pitch where we were doing a bit of match analysis, match prep for the game tomorrow as well. Something I want to touch on quickly before I do get comments about the session that I've done this morning in the gym. Now, usually I always do say that you should be doing your gym sessions after training since football is the priority. Now, although this was true, I'm going to tell you why today was a little bit different for me and why I changed it up a little bit. So firstly, since it was a match preparation day, I knew the load wasn't going to be too high and training wasn't going to be too intense since we do have a game tomorrow. And secondly, I kept the sets and the reps really low, so I wasn't going to be fatigued for the training session ahead or even tomorrow's game. And lastly, I can't stress this enough, it's completely personal preference. I know what works for my body. This might not work for other people, so you just need to do exactly what works for you. But this does go without saying, usually I would try and do my gym sessions after my training sessions. Today was just a little bit different. But in regards to the rest of the day, there is going to be a little bit of traffic, so it's going to take around 2 hours to get home. But once we do get home, it's going to be all about recovering depending on how I feel. We're going to jump on the compression boots, do a little bit of mobility, make sure we're fully hydrating as well. As well as that, I did ask a few of you on Instagram to ask me some questions, which I'm going to answer at the end of this video. But apart from that, we've got a long drive ahead of us. Right, so we're finally back home after a long journey. That took around 2.5 hours, 3 hours to get home just because of how much traffic there was. A lot of you are probably wondering why I do it, but it's just one of them things you do for football. It's the sacrifices you have to make. And obviously you're just hopeful that it all pays off. But regardless, it's about 6 o'clock in the evening. I just had dinner. Jumping on these compression boots, like I said earlier, just to relieve some muscle soreness. And I thought it was a perfect time to go into the Q&A and just answer a few of your questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. And so if you don't follow me on there, I did put a story up just asking you guys to ask me some questions that I'm going to answer in today's video. And if this is something you want to see in future videos, drop some questions down below and I will try and answer as many of them as I can in my next video. Also, another thing I wanted to touch on quickly, as you might have seen throughout the video, I did have a band on my bicep just here. But to keep it really short and simple, this is my Whoop band, which I wear every single minute of the day. Helps me track my sleep, my heart rate and things like that. And so if you are serious about your health and fitness and you really want to improve, you can download it using the link in the description and you'll get 1 month for free. Anyway, let's get straight into these questions. The first one we have coming in asks the weekly training schedule you wish you followed as an academy baller. Now this is really simple. It's the training program I'm following now, and that's available on my app as well. It has a full mix of upper body sessions, lower body sessions and full body as well. And although it is a 6-week program, I've just been following it continuously every single week throughout the whole season. And because I have seen big results over the last few months, I'm just going to continue with it throughout the whole season. And you yourself can start following this program if you download my app. It's available on iOS and Android using the link in the description below. Question number 2 asks me, what are your goals for the future? Now, I used to be one of those people who really used to note down every single goal, long-term and short-term, but I've completely changed that. I've noticed for me, I don't really like to go for goals as such. I just want to take every day as it comes, make sure I'm working hard every single day, I'm being productive, and I feel like once you do that, the success will come over time. But again, this is completely personal preference. If you're somebody who does like to go for goals, write them down and completely go for them, then that is fine as well. But yeah, if I'm going to be as straight up as possible, I just want to enjoy my football as much as I can, keep working hard every single day, and hopefully be really successful in the future. Next question is from Nathan, and he asks, what sort of music do you listen to before a game? Now this actually changes quite drastically, to be honest. I kind of change depending on the mood. If I need something to really lift the mood, then I will go for a bit of house music. But yeah, that's quite a hard question to answer only because I do change up quite a bit. But if I had to narrow it down to 3 artists I really listen to, it's probably going to be Drake, Lil Baby and Gunna. Now the next question comes in from Harry, and he asks, what are the ups and downs of being a professional footballer? Now the ups are really simple. You're playing football on a daily basis, you're earning money doing what you love. But there are quite a few downs I don't think a lot of people see from the outside. Travel being one. I've noticed now being back in League One, we're traveling nearly every single week, away days up and down the country, which is really long. And this can have quite a big effect both mentally and physically on your performance without you even realising. You're on the coach 6 to 7 hours, travelling up and down the country only to have a game the next day, and it can be quite difficult. Obviously, the higher up you go in professional football, it probably does get a little bit easier just because you are going by planes. And as you guys have seen throughout this video, there's a lot of players like me who also travel over 2 hours to training every single day, and that also can be quite difficult. And there's also sacrifices on the side you might have to make with friends and family. For example, you might not be able to go to gatherings because you have training or games the next day. But all in all, you can't complain. It is still the best job in the world. You're playing football for a living, and I wouldn't change it for anything. Next question asks, advice to go from non-league to semi-pro. What things do I need to incorporate in training? So I'm going to give you some advice from going from non-league to professional football. Now, what I would say firstly is that your mentality and discipline is literally everything. If you don't have the mental strength or the discipline to do your extra training in the gym or on the pitch, unfortunately, you won't be able to keep up with the professional players. And that's pretty much what it boils down to. Professional players train on an everyday basis, so you need to try and keep up with them as much as you can. And so for someone like me, when I was in non-league, I was trying to stick to a full-time schedule. professional. So I was in the gym pretty much 5 to 6 times a week, as well as doing pitch sessions around 4 to 5 times as well. So yeah, that would be my biggest advice, making sure you're working really hard behind the scenes in the gym, on the pitch, and then hopefully you'll get your rewards on the pitch. And that question also leads me on quite nicely to this question from Ricky, who asked, in your journey to pro football, how much has the mental aspect mattered? There's been times over the last few years when I've been really down and I thought about giving up, but ultimately I stayed with it. I continued working hard, and it's got me to the point where I am now. And even with all of that said, I know I'm still at a point where I've got so many more years ahead of me. There's so much hard work. There's going to be so many more ups and downs. And I just have to make sure I continue to work hard, and hopefully I'll play at the highest level I can possibly play at. But that's it for now. If you guys have any more questions you'd like me to answer in my next video, drop them down in the comment section below, and I'll try and answer as many of them as I can.